Hey guys, so I just wanted to talk to you about what I feel like God has had on my mind this week and what I feel like He is telling me I should say. Um, so I want to talk to you guys about my current situation. We are not staying with my family, we are now staying with a friend. The intention was to stay with my family until we found a place, but everything happened faster than we thought it was going to. So the kids kind of moved in with my dad, and my sister's looking to move out soon. So things were getting moved along fairly quickly. So we took the opportunity to stay with a friend who opened up their home to us, which is also closer for work and closer to the area where we want to live. So it'll be better for us to scout and be able to look for places since I'm here. And maybe even build some business here. You never know what could happen. So, first off, I'm just going to start by saying, throw a little part in there, that if you live with somebody, okay, the one thing you need to know is that it is their home. So it's never easy to follow somebody else's rules. And even if you are best friends, there could always be times where there's something you're going to do or say that they're not going to agree with, or that they're going to do or say something and you're not going to agree with it. Now, you don't let someone walk all over you and, use you, but you do make it easier for them because they're making it easier for you. You do go out of your way as they're going out of their way for you. And you need to remember to always maintain positive and not to be rude to somebody who's helping you. If you feel like it's a poisonous situation, then you should probably try to figure out the best way for you to get out of it. But if it's not a poisonous situation, do not ruin it or burn a bridge with somebody that is good for you. Now, on to the next subject. I feel like lately there's been a lot of people feel like they're alone. And I had a few people reach out to me about my last video and talk about how, they thought they were by themselves. It felt great to hear somebody talk about how they're going through similar things. And one thing I want you guys to know is we are never alone at any point. You could feel like what you're going through is beyond normal. And it could be completely beyond normal. It could be something so out there you wouldn't even think of it. But I guarantee you there is somebody else out there who feels the same way that you feel, or has gone through something similar, or even the same. You gotta think, there's over millions of people in this world. It's guaranteed that at least one of them have gone through something similar to what you have gone through. And God has a way that in our life, we manage to meet up with these people or hear about them at some point. They could be someone on TV, someone, you see every day. It could be anything. God makes a way so that way we know we're never alone. The only thing is you have to believe those people when they talk to you, just as you would expect someone else to believe you if you talk to them. And marriages. A lot of marriages fail because both people aren't putting in the work. And some people just rush into it. But if you're always thinking that you rushed into it and you're not actually spending that time putting all your hard work into it, then it's most likely going to fail. There is an extremely high rate of divorces, especially in our day and age. Whereas back then, that was very little, did not happen. You were looked down upon if it did. Now it's become like a worldwide thing. One of the things that happens is that the devil tends to make things look like it's fine. He likes to make it seem like it's okay to do this, and it's fine to do that. What's gonna happen? God's not gonna hurt you. He doesn't really care. But that's not true. He does care, but he has so much grace and mercy to go around, and he loves us all so much that he gives us endless and countless chances. And as God gives us chances, he expects us to give others chances. and he only forgives us as much as we forgive others. Now, if you can't forgive anybody and you're vengeful and you just don't care, then most likely that's the type of responses you're going to feel you're getting in your life. You're going to feel like people don't care, like they're not trying to help you, like they're not there for you, they don't forgive you, they hate you, and you made a small mistake. God is going to not block you from those people. He is not going to work into their hearts for you if you're not working into their hearts or his heart. Now, people need to know that in relationships, whether friendships, marriages, families, anything like that, you always have to try to work together. If you're not working together, you're not going to get far. That's one of the biggest problems with a lot of our communities, is that we're not working together, so we're not getting anywhere. And that's a problem our country is having right now, because there's so many different areas. There's, you know, the supremacists and the blacks and, you know, the in-between and the people that don't care at all. You know, there's so many different points of the argument, and so many people are not seeing it the same, which is normal. We're not all going to always see it the same, but we all have to find a way to still come together in our differences. And a lot of people won't even agree with that statement, and that's fine. I can completely be fine with them not agreeing with me, because I'm not always right. Now there's a lot of deep issues going on. Like, a lot of people feel that they're doing stuff and they don't realize why they're doing it, you know. And if you have a view on what they're doing and why they're doing it and they don't know, you can give them your view. If they don't accept it, that's fine. You know, people don't have to take the advice or the learning experience that you have to give them, but at least you can say that you gave it to them, and you can say you tried to help. And then when they get to that point where they realize it may be true, then they're gonna be happy that you gave it to them, and they're gonna remember that moment that you said it to them, even if they say they don't. I know that, like, for instance, say you have a best friend, and when you guys first meet, she's like really all over the place, you know, like she's staying out at parties, disappearing with guys, you know, gets so drunk she can't remember her name the next day, so many different things. And, you know, you went through that stage of your life, and at some point things got really bad, and you got stuck onto it, and you couldn't get yourself out of this cycle. And you tell them that. Sometimes people at the beginning are not going to be okay with that. They're not going to listen. They don't want to hear you. They're going to think you're judging them. And as long as you're doing it with a filled heart, when all your intentions are pure, they may not agree, but they're going to think about it at some point, and they're going to respect your opinion, and that relationship is going to come back at some point if it's meant to be. And then there are a lot of people that, you know, they're going through stuff and people give them advice and they don't listen to it. And one thing you need to remember is sometimes it's okay to listen. Sometimes it's okay to think that someone might know something different than you know. And yes, you may not go exactly what they went through. You know, chances are you're not going to go exactly with what they went through. But you may go through similar things. Or you may take a turn into a whole nother way that could be worse than what they said. You never know. It's always good to try to stop and think about what somebody's saying and wonder whether it's right or not. I know there are many times in my day that I have to do that. If someone tells me, well, do you really think it's okay to do this? Do you really think it's okay to do that? My first instinct is, in my head, I'll be like, excuse me, who do you think you are? But clearly that's not how we're supposed to live. We're not going to grow if that's how we think and we talk and we act. I know when people say say things like that to me, I think about it. You know, I'll say, well, I don't know. And then in my head, as time goes on through my day, I'll think about it and I'll think, well, maybe was I wrong here? Should I have said that? You know, was I right when I did this? You know, and then you try to look at it from God's eyes, or, you know, from wherever. Just try to think, am I really doing this the way I should? Am I really doing it right? How could the outcome end up later on if I do it this way? And, you know, there are a lot of times that it's like, okay, so I didn't do that right. Or sometimes we are just angry and they say, well, do you think that was right? And you'll be like, well, you know what? I don't care. Yeah, it was right. And you argue that you're right. And in your head, you're like, you're really wrong. But you keep arguing. Yes, that gets us nowhere. So just make sure, even if you do that, that you can come back at some point and you can apologize and you can say, I'm sorry, that was not right. And I knew that. I just want people to know the things that I feel like God is telling me. And I want them to see the point in my life that I am at and what I'm going through, because there's always somebody else going through it the same or worse, or maybe even a little better. But it's always nice to know, it's comforting to know that you're never alone. And I dedicate this video to my husband because, you know, we're living kind of separately, and we have been for about a year. And I see him every week, multiple times a week, and, you know, he stays over. But because we're still not in the spot we need to be yet, it's very difficult for us to be together all the time. So I know sometimes that he may feel like I'm not here or that he's alone, but we are always together and I'm always with him. And I love you so much, Josiah, just so you know. And we talk every day, but I just want you to know, publicly announce to the world that I truly believe, as long as we keep growing in God and growing together, that this marriage will reach new heights, that higher than we ever thought it possibly could. So that is my spew for today. You guys can comment down below. You can send me your comments on how you feel, what you thought. Just let me know.